Hello everyone, Mark Major here. This is the Action Figuratorium, and look at the production value of this show. As you know, I'm a real big toy collector, but I'm also somebody who likes to look at new toys coming out through Kickstarters. I like to examine the campaigns, I like to look at the toys, and of course I like to look at their marketing and see what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And today we're going to look at the Odious 1/12 scale action figure on Kickstarter. There's still maybe 4 days left to go. Hasn't quite hit his goal. It is a interesting, cool looking figure, a bit different than other things that have been kind of coming out in these crowdfunding series of cool indie toys. So why don't you guys stick around for this one. Okay, we are going to switch over to desktop cam here. We're going to check out this Kickstarter. This is for the Odious 1/12 scale action figure, Odious the Living Curse. This guy frozen in the vid here, his name is Wade Merrick. He's the guy behind this campaign. If you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see that he's got no less than 7 people working on this, from one person doing soft goods, another person doing some artwork, another person doing the sculpting, etc. He is trying to reach $130,000. He's at $75,000. I myself, upon watching his video, have determined that this is a cool guy, and I pledged $10 to the cause just to see if this will happen. So what is it he is selling? This is a 1/12 action figure. He doesn't actually tell you the size of it, though. He doesn't say it's 6 inches, 7 inches, 8 inches, because the thing itself is a monster, so it could technically be whatever size it wants to be and be within the 1/12 scale. I get the feeling it's going to come in about 6 inches with a little bit of plus on top. Okay, so it's this figure here. It's this guy. And it's basically a generic buck. I shouldn't say generic buck, because it's a buck that he's making, and it has this kind of furry texture to it. So I take that back, not a generic buck, but it is a buck that gets a head sculpt, and you slap some soft goods on it. Now, right out of the gate, people are probably like throwing a flag that says Mezco, because that is what Mezco does. Before we go any further, we're going to need to just make sure everybody's caught up. Mezco makes these 1/12 figures where they basically take a male human buck, they put a different sculpted head on it and slap some different clothes, charge you $90. Here's one called Atticus Doom. And, check this out. I mean, it's super cool. Look, there's some other heads you can get for it that come with it, that kind of thing. It's just like a weird character. And they do the other ones. They've got the guy called Gomez. It's their mascot, but it's a cockroach. It's really fun. It's a lot of cool. I've got a couple. It's all fun toy collecting, groovy stuff. But, and I do like the Mezco stuff, everyone needs to be honest about what's going on in life. It's a generic buck with a different head sculpt, and they slap some clothes on it. Now, what Mezco does, and this cat, because instantly I'm sure everyone's thinking, this photo right here looks, I thought, like, wow, this is like, could be in the Mezco product line. It's really a lot like the characters that they do. Kind of fun characters with a lot of attitude, just expressed through the plastic, right? But what Mezco does is they pad out their action figures with so much other stuff, other accessories and cardboard dioramas and other little minifigs that you get with it. And it will come in a lunchbox, and there'll also be like a 5 points of articulation version that they sell as well. So it's kind of a hype campaign. In that way, it comes out as like sort of a little mini wave. You can get the roach with the golden head Gomez, or you can get the the little 4-inch version of it, that kind of thing. And so that's very important, is that is kind of how Mezco has been able to sell these new head sculpt, old body buck, slap clothes on it for $90, is by offering these crazy accessories. And they don't just throw in like, hey, you get like a gun and nunchucks. They make it cool. They pick out stuff that goes with the character. Mezco knows what they're doing. They're not dumb. Now, instantly everybody knows that, like, if you order from Mezco, it's going to be like 3 years before you get your toy. That's, you know, I'm on a waiting list for something that I actually forgot what I was waiting for. I had to log into my Mezco account just to see what I had signed up for, because I had forgotten. So, and that thing that I am on the list for, it's never coming. All right, it doesn't matter. They're never going to ship it. I realize that. Hopefully this will ship. This looks pretty cool. So basically it's this guy, Odious 1/12, and yeah, it's got a huge Mezco kind of hit to it, but this guy basically, to me, is like a really, really cool, hip, modern Bigfoot character. It's of Harry and the Hendersons. It's Sasquatch. It's from all these like TV ads and commercials. It's an amalgamation of all the sorts of pop culture encounters with Bigfoot squeezed into one dude, and it's got a lot of cool attitude to it. Now, I'm sure that the creator of it, I believe his name is Wade Merrick, that's him. He may not specifically think that. He might think like, oh no, it's just a weird kind of crazy, you know, looks like a dude. No, it's a Bigfoot. I'm pretty sure it's a Bigfoot, and I'm pretty sure everybody who looks at it, who's a toy collector, who, you know, are geezers like me, who can go back to the original $6 million man toy and the Bigfoot that they sold with it. This is a Bigfoot, okay? And you should definitely lean on that. You should not shy from that, because I think that's what makes this thing cool. I think that's what gives it its uniqueness. And I'm surprised I haven't seen a Bigfoot like this from Mezco, and I'm surprised I haven't seen a Bigfoot like this from Four Horsemen, who does the Figure Obscura line of whatever kind of mythical figures they feel like making. And so this guy, to me, is riding that wave. It's got incredible attitude. It looks even cooler with the clothes. And of course, everybody always likes to do these, hey, here's what it looks like exploded. I don't get into those diagrams, but I know that there are toy collectors who do, and you got to provide them. So he's offering with this thing the head sculpt that you have on it, but it comes with 3 other ones. He wants to give you a bunch of hands, and it looks like he wants to give you some accessories, some kind of a club and some clothes. Now, what you can actually purchase as far as the rewards for this, you can get a bare body, still get the heads, still get the hands, but just the body, $50, shipping worked out later. For $30 more, you get the soft goods. Is it worth it for the $30 more? Might be, might not though. You might have a whole bunch of soft goods you're sitting on, and you just want a bare body. And then he's got some other variations of it. You can buy 2 and get some money off. You can buy 10 if you want and get even more money off, almost 40% off if you buy 10. But that's it. He's just selling the one guy. There's not variations or versions. You can just get him with more stuff, less stuff. You can get more guys, less guys. It's just the one guy. Okay. So I think it's cool. I'm not actually probably going to pick one up, but I will throw $10 in the pot as a sort of good luck, and maybe somebody will see this video in my feed, check it out, go check out the toy and pledge. Let's hope this does something positive. I always want to see these cats succeed, even if the product they're offering is totally insane and shouldn't be made. They have a chance at success, and why not, you know, see if you can serve it up for them. If they do one, who knows, maybe the second campaign that comes along may be really amazing and really great, and they just got to get past the first one. So we want people to do well. We really do. I would rather have money go to this cat than just funneling it into like the endless, you know, Hasbros out there. Of which I did recently buy like a Star Wars Tantive 4 playset. So I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty, but it's what I would like to see. How about that? So in terms of this marketing campaign, here's what everybody needs, no matter who you are, no matter what your campaign is, okay? You need a thing at the bottom of the pyramid that everyone can purchase, something cheap that everyone can buy. Then you need a second tier for people who have more money, are willing to spend more money if you give them something of more value, meaning you have to have something that's an upgrade from the bottom of the pyramid, and they will spend money on it to get it. Then you need to have some luxury item at the top of the pyramid that people will buy simply because they can afford it. People will buy the luxury item simply because it exists and they have the money. And if that's the case, you're always going to be making an insane amount of profit off those people, but you do have to do it. You have to offer something. So this cat, his entry-level thing is just the bare body, $50. His mid-level thing that you pay a little bit more for is $30 more, you get the clothes. That kind of makes sense. He doesn't have any kind of luxury item. Buying 10 of these is not a luxury item. It seems like it could be, but it's not. And there are probably people who bought the 10-pack. In fact, it's probably, if this thing barely creeps along and only a few are made, that might be a really cool investment to sit on. There's a bunch of these, but you have to be kind of flush to go on a limb for something like this, because this could be so obscure that like people don't even know it exists to go looking for it. So how can you sell it? I mean, I've got some toys that I picked up at a thrift store that don't even really seem to exist in Google searches. How can you sell those? So what this cat needs to do is he really needs to get something into the bottom of the pyramid, something super cheap that everyone can buy, and the $50 Bigfoot guy is not quite it. If that's going to be the bottom of if that's going to be the entry, naked Bigfoot, right? He's got to get it cheaper, and not like a lot cheaper, not like $10 kind of cheap, but it needs to be a lot less than $50. It needs to be a price that anyone could pay for. Like $25 would be ideal. Would it be possible for something like this with like kind of a new sculpt right out of the gate? No real like other media behind it to push it. It just exists on its own for its own thing. That would be pretty tough. You'd have to make at $25. You'd have to make a lot of these and sell a lot of them. So I don't think that's possible. I think $35, actually, if this guy could do it to where he could sell them on Kickstarter, I mean, they can be a little bit more on Big Bad Toy Store, but if his Kickstarter was $35 for the bare body, and if that means they don't get the hands, they don't get the heads, they don't get the skull mace, they just get the body, it's in a bag, the bag is stapled, right, for $35, then that's what you're serving up, because you got to hit that price point. You got to get the stuff to a price where people will buy it at that. They don't just go, oh, this looks cool, it's $50. All right, I'll just dig a little deeper this time. You have to come to the people or you're not going to hit your marks. Again, go back to the Savage Crucible campaign. The guy had a huge variety of figures to pick from, but he had guys for as low as $15. And they looked tits, okay? They looked absolutely tits. So this cat, if he doesn't make it, and, I kind of think he will, but I don't know that he's going to unlock anything or if there's any plans to unlock anything. But if this cat doesn't make it, he's going to have to come back and he's going to have to get that original bone that he's given you a lot cheaper. And then for the extra, the mid-level thing, those mezcos are $90, but they really do come up with interesting stuff like the dioramas and lunchbox pails, and you get a grub and you get an extra head of like a woolly mammoth, and you get like, 10 hands and 2 pairs of shoes and a boom box, and you get a refrigerator, and there's like Gatorade in there. It's real Gatorade, and you can drink the Gatorade. They do all that shit, okay? And so this cat's going to have to do something like that. He's going to have to go a little extra distance, but I think he could then ask for $80, but he's going to have to give you all that crap that I just mentioned, because that's what we're comparing it to. We're comparing it to ordering one of these Mezco guys, which, by the way, dumb move to not buy like the lone lone roach and grub. That's got to be one of the coolest coolest one of their figures that they put out in the series. And to not have one of those is a big mistake on my part. So could be a big mistake not getting one of these. I think they're super cool, but I don't know if he's going to make it. If he doesn't make it, he's just going to have to juice the $80 pledge with more stuff, strip the $50 pledge and get it to $35. And then for a luxury item, I don't know. I guess, you know, you can get one and he comes with like a hover scooter or something. And it's just like a, you know, just like a remolded, you know, Barbie scooter that you have fixed, that kind of thing. I don't know. Just brainstorming what you could throw in or what you could do to like juice this thing up. You'd have to really go back to the drawing board and see how much you could charge and what you could slap together. But overall, I think this is a cool guy. I think this is a cool idea. He has a lot of fun factor involved in it. I'm sure with the articulation, he's going to be a fan favorite if this thing ever gets made. I think you're going to see this guy making the rounds. I think he's, you know, I think he has a chance. Hopefully the marketing can figure out their pricing and they can get this one in the can. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Thanks for sticking around, making it this far into the video, and I'll catch you guys on that next one.